Types of chemical bonds. You're going to label each of these compounds as either being an ionic bond, a covalent bond, or both. Now, in order to figure this out, all you have to do is go back to the periodic table and determine if your elements are a metal and a nonmetal and a nonmetal, or a compound containing a polyatomic ion. Now, this is really easy to figure out just because you're going to find some of these compounds have more than 2 elements. If it has more than 2 elements, then it has to be both, because there will be one ionic bond and one or more covalent bonds involved. So make sure that if you find one of these, or these down here, that have more than 2 element symbols in them, it's automatically going to be both. Ionic or covalent is look at the 2 element symbols, if there are only 2, and determine, do you have 2 nonmetals or a metal and a nonmetal. So let's do the first one here, CaCl2, which is calcium chloride. So I look up Ca, which is on the left-hand side of this zigzag line. Remember, the zigzag line separates out our metals and our nonmetals. So since it's on the left, and if you can't remember that, guys, just look at this. See, iron, copper, things that you know, gold, lead, the things that you know are metals are on the left-hand side of that zigzag line. So if you're ever not sure, if you can't remember which side the metals are on, just look for the things in the periodic table that you know are metals, and you'll see that they go on the left. So I had calcium, which is on the left of the zigzag line, which is a metal, and chlorine, Cl, which is on the right-hand side of the zigzag line, so it's a nonmetal. A metal and a nonmetal combined together make an ionic bond, so I would write ionic here. On number 2, I have CO2. C is carbon, so I look for carbon and I find it right here. It's on the right side of my zigzag line, so it's a non-metal. And O, oxygen, is also to the right of the zigzag, which means that it's also a nonmetal. 2 nonmetals, nonmetal and nonmetal, is covalent. So I'm going to write covalent here. Okay, look for metal, nonmetal, 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 or 3 or more elements to know if it is both ionic and covalent. If you still have any questions, please feel free to ask.